today's episode of Small Talk. Welcome to episode 20 of finding really cool people and asking them questions and getting to know them better. Howdy! I hope you guys are all enjoying the start to your week so far. We are on a Tuesday, and on this lovely, fine Tuesday, I have here with me a very special witch. Her name is Lilu Clary. She runs a tavern with, as you may see in chat, her husband Liam Clary, and I'm just so excited to get to know her better today, and I hope you guys don't mind getting to know her better with me. Yes, you guys can also ask Lilu questions. It costs 10 points, so even if you're not following or if you watch for a little bit, you'll be able to ask her some questions. There is a 1 minute cooldown, so just so that people don't spam it. We enjoy some silliness here, but I appreciate if those questions would be more genuine and actually of curiosity. Sometimes we get questions of people just wanting to be silly and go like, why are you cool? Why are you cute and stuff? And I enjoy those, but I wanna, we only got 2 hours of this, so let's not have too much fun. Only I get to have fun. Okay. What else? I think that's all I want to say at the start. We're gonna go on ahead and get her in and have her introduce herself. Beep boop. Hi.
Hello.
Would you like to come on? There she
Hello.
is, the beautiful woman herself. Hello.
Hello. I'll come down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, got
There
you.
we go.
I got you. Do you Oh, that's fine. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello. I'm Lilu Clary. I'm a botanical witch VTuber, and for those of you who aren't familiar with me, I like playing a lot of comfy games and generally just kind of cultivating a cozy vibe. And
Okay, we knew this was gonna happen.
That was the Steam maintenance.
We knew this was gonna happen. Okay, one moment. Yes. Pretend that this didn't happen.
Oh. That it may be reconnecting potentially. I would maybe leave it open and we'll see what happens.
Okay, then I shall leave your reactive on for a moment. Steam has their weekly maintenance at this time. I'm so good at choosing collab times. For all of you who do not know, this happens every week. So this is like the least smart idea for collabs containing Steam related apps.
Grr. That is okay. We will make do with it.
Yes, ma'am. I guess I should open up the connection server failed. Okay, I can't even open it. Okay, I'm just gonna go on ahead and use the Fuki text.
That is a-okay.
Table.
I will keep my bottle on hand just in case.
Yes, ma'am. I'm now talking to a static image, but that's fine. I can control her height. Here we go. Apparently, with her height information, this is how we would be.
Yeah, just about.
Wait, I'm thinking. I'm bad at visualizing height. Yeah, sure. Lilu is so tense. No. She's so lax. Look at that smile. She's in her prime, her element here. Which, by the way, I do take the time to create environments that match our guest. And look at her. She's so cute here.
It is absolutely lovely.
Yes.
You have taken the time to curate a perfect vibe.
I'm so happy you enjoy it as well. This is a good question to start off then with. Can you explain maybe some of the inspirations for your outfits and design?
Sure. Yeah, so I really love flowers. I know that's going to be really shocking to hear. And it's funny because my mom recently sent me a picture of when I was like a toddler, and she turned it over and she had written on the back, Lilu smelling flowers and talking to them, age 2 years old.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yes. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have always been like this apparently." And I also do just I love magic and I love witches, and I took a lot of inspiration from Howl's Moving Castle. So there are a lot of elements of Howl in my design, especially like the jacket, you'll be able to see that. And so I kind of just took a lot of the things that I liked and I was like, "How do I mash these together?"
I think it all
And yeah.
came beautifully together. It looks so. You are genuinely one of my most favorite VTuber designs
Oh
out
my
there.
goodness.
I am
Thank
so.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Woo! Is there a part to your design that you like really enjoy the most?
I mean, it's gotta be the hat. The hat's my favorite.
Right? Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. The flowers,
Yeah,
beautiful.
when I was originally working with my original VTuber mama, Lulu Bell VT, I went to Pinterest as one does, and I started getting a bunch of boards together. And I realized that just one like inspiration board wasn't going to work, and I ended up having several. One of which was entirely dedicated to the hat. Um, and so from there, I was like, I want to make sure it has flowers on top, but I was like, I also
Mhm.
need those hanging flowers as well. So.
It's so aesthetically pleasing. Like it just tickles the right places. Oh, I'm so happy. Is
Thank
there
you.
yeah, do you think there's like a reason these sorts of things appeal to you? What is it about the fantastical that you're drawn to?
I That's a good question. I've always been a big fan of fantasy. Like I'm a big D&D player,
Ooh.
and I think a lot of people can kind of get that also by by my design. There's something about finding magic in the mundane that really appeals to me. And just kind of growing up on all of these Ghibli stories and, just in general escapism with
Mhm.
novels and books and anime. I think for just I've always been really into the idea of there's something more, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I vibe with that so much. Like that's such an adventurous spirit. I what kind of places would your mind take you? Like specifically, where like is there like a forest in mind? Where would you said the word escapism, right? Like where are you running to?
Yeah. I think it was a lot of the series that I was into
Mhm.
growing up. So while I did kind of like crafting my own worlds as well, I think I spent a lot of time spacing out in class, either in the current book that I was in or thinking about the current anime. It was probably Naruto or something,
A
and just kind of
daydreamer.
thinking of the stories.
Yeah,
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 I was a
yeah.
daydreamer.
Oh,
I'd finish my work and then just completely stop paying attention.
how fun. I relate. So, like fanfic writer and stuff, right?
Oh, yes, that was me.
Okay, so I too wrote fanfics, but I have this incredible embarrassment about it, just feeling so self-conscious about the things that I wrote, I guess. Like, do you experience cringe?
I think that I've come to realize that cringe is dead and I'm free. In all
Yes!
seriousness,
Mhm.
I think that there's something really beautiful about fandom and about fan fiction. It's
Oh
something
yeah.
I'm actually very passionate about. I talk about this actually on my stream sometimes too, about how I think that this passion for works is amazing. And yeah, sure, you're probably gonna write some cringe stuff at first. Everyone does. But the ability for this group of people to come together and say, I love this series so much that I want to enrich it. And I want to imagine more scenarios where I can put my little guys, That's something I think is so cool. Um,
Yeah!
and I've just admired all of the like the fandom elders and the people who make
Mhm.
great works of art and great writings. And
Right,
I was like, I want to
they furthered the medium.
Yes, exactly. And I was like, I want to be like them when I grow up.
I get
Yes.
you. Is there certain things that you like certain fandoms in mind?
Well, so I like I did when I was like a wee witch. I was like I said really into Naruto and I think
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
where I got my start and I was kind of into the fan fiction then and what's now called like the golden age. And I think there was a lot of really talented writers at the time who were just putting out a lot of really good like it stands up to this day. I read some the other day. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Um, and so I was like, okay, this is good stuff. And then from there, I think I had migrated to Tumblr and then kind of jumped onto the popular fandoms at that point. And I was always just amazed, like, for example, Marvel had some really good talent. Specifically, like X-Men First Class was really popular at the time, and I
Hmm.
just remember being in awe of like these writers. Oh my gosh, they just are like I was eating so good.
I'm so impressed. You sound like a veteran in the scene, like truly to me. Like I feel like a
It's been a
baby.
bit.
Yeah, yeah. How is can you roughly give a duration you feel like?
So I can tell you I'm nearly 30. So
Hmm.
I don't mind divulging that. And I think I got into fandom when I was about 12 years old. So I mean,
Oh my gosh.
oh, it's been a bit.
Let's go. How then surely
Yes,
you've been to like conventions and all that
I
stuff.
have. Yes.
Oh.
I actually oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? Interviews are about vulnerability, so I'll admit one of the fandoms I was really into as a teenager was Hitalia,
Oh,
and
yes.
that was when I went to conventions. I started out as like a Hitalia cosplayer and oddly enough, I would go on to meet people from those conventions because of Hitalia cosplay. I
Oh
am
my
friends with
gosh.
to this day.
I am in awe. That's all I've ever wanted, but I was so I'm so happy. You are a success story girl. Holy crap. I haven't heard Hatalia in years.
Oh my gosh, I know. I probably did some psychic damage to the people old enough in this chat right now.
Fucking hell, yeah, yeah, yeah. How old is Hatalia
Yes.
now? Over 20 maybe?
Oh god, I guess it is. It's at least like 15 years old now.
Dog.
It did not age well at all. We were too young to know better.
I'm super curious. Who did you cosplay?
I started out as a hungry cosplayer, but then
That's so
after
cute.
it was really cute. And then after that I got into cosplaying as Russia.
Mhm.
And my parents didn't always understand my interests, but they were just
Mhm.
really enthusiastically supportive of them. So I
Aw.
said to my dad, "Hey, this character has like a metal pipe, like a faucet pipe. Can you help me make this?" And he went to the hardware store and he sure as hell helped me make that. I
Your
still have
dad
it.
sounds so cool. I'm a little curious about that because my parents were not like that. So you said that they didn't understand, but they were supportive, right? In what ways?
Mhm.
What other ways did they show support?
So when I say that they don't understand, they weren't into these like particular anime series,
I
but
see.
my parents, I have always kind of grown up with them also being nerds. So like for example, my earliest memories of video games are watching my mom play Zelda. So they
Oh.
they were like very enthusiastic to support these hobbies. And so my dad, my first I guess real interaction with anime
Mhm.
was he would pirate Inuyasha episodes for me because I wouldn't be able to stay up late enough to catch them on like Adult Swim.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I specifically remember him telling me, he says, "Don't go to school and tell anyone about this. They'll come arrest me."
Did you believe him?
Yes, wholeheartedly. I kept my mouth shut. I was young enough. I was like, the police will come to the house.
Mhm.
We will all die.
Oh, that's so cute. You guys sound like such a lovely. You are precious. Your family's precious.
Oh, thank you.
What I'm guessing then. So all this passion and love for fandoms comes from your parents as well.
I think so a little bit. Yeah, because they've always really just dived into their own interests in series,
Mhm.
where like whether that's a video game or if they're watching like a show together, they I remember there was a time where they wanted to show me and my siblings Lord of the Rings, so we set up in the basement with the big TV and we were down there and we marathoned it the entire time. They made sure we had snacks and everything, but like they were committed, you know?
That is
And I think that
beautiful.
yeah, their love for series like that I think definitely
Mhm.
carried through.
I'm glad, because now we get to see. Look at this. This is so much fun. You are a bright, shining positivity right now. Oh,
Oh,
I told
I try
her.
to be.
I told her I was tired coming in, but now I'm like all energized. I'm like, I want to talk about anime and fandoms now. Like, what I want to talk about, like, what are your early anime?
Oh my gosh, Fruits Basket is like
Yes!
formative.
Woo!
Formative,
Woo!
absolutely. That was and so when the new series came out, I cried like a baby. Oh my gosh, I was
Yes!
bawling.
Me
So Fruits Basket is
too!
definitely one of my earliest formative ones.
Mhm.
Sailor Moon, that was a very early one, and Inuyasha as well.
Mhm.
Tokyo Mew Mew, I think that those were kind of like my very early cherished
Holy
ones.
shit,
Yeah.
girl! I love you.
Are those also the ones that you were
Yes,
into?
absolutely. So
Yes!
like
I love
Cardcaptor
that.
Sakura and it's just all the cute, like just the cute anime I think back then are such a strong signifier of my personality, especially just Toru Honda as like girl,
Yes.
she was iconic to me.
Oh
And
my gosh, I know.
yeah. Actually, so with that in mind, were there any characters that you like really hold dear as well?
You know, I think that at least from Fruits Basket, it's
Hmm.
really interesting when you experience the series as a kid versus
Mhm.
when you experience the series as an adult. There were like life lessons in Fruits Basket that really got me through like tough times. As much as I love my family, every family has issues. And so some
Mhm.
of the life advice that, you know, like Shigure would say, like really kind of stuck with me. So he's always kind of been a really pivotal
Mhm.
character that's really important to me.
Yeah.
And then I think Momiji was just so wonderful and so bright.
Oh.
I loved him so much.
Mhm. I can
Yeah.
see, I can see. I okay, so I'm not sure if this is true. I'm sure a lot of people also have this idea, but the idea that there's like characters that you base a lot of your personality on just because like it's what you needed at the time. Like besides Momiji, was there other characters like that for you growing up?
Oh, I absolutely know. Yeah, Sakura Haruno from Naruto is like that. And
Oh
I mean,
hell yeah!
my love of pink, I even had someone early on go like, "Your model kind of reminds me of Sakura." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm fully aware of that. I'm not ashamed."
Is it intentional?
It was not entirely intentional because I
I
knew that
see.
I wanted to have pink hair, but
Mhm.
as I was designing this with Lulu, she was like, "Oh, what if we do like green eyes?" Because we actually tried like pink eyes, we tried purple eyes,
Mhm.
and then I was like, "Something seems right about this." And now I'm wondering, was that subconsciously just me liking Sakura? I'm not sure, but it works.
I think it'd be more fun if it was, cause I want to know, like, what about her? What about her?
I think for me, Sakura was always like there was something so cool about character development, like specifically hers, because I'm
Mhm.
a person, I love character development. I love messy characters. I love dynamic characters. And so watching her struggle and then ultimately come out on top as like this underdog was something so cool to me. I just like watching her glow up. Oh, I was just fascinated with it. I loved it so much.
Yes. I remember. I didn't watch much of it, but I do remember like loving. So maybe I don't know. It's an old series, but her becoming Tsunade, like
Yes.
yes, that part was my favorite because it was like she's learning from the best. This is gonna be the best like arc
Exactly.
for her. Yeah, I remember. Oh, that's so fun. Were there? Let's see. So thinking back, was there an anime from back then that really stuck out to you?
So like for that time period with like
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was probably in like middle school around that time period. I think probably might be a strange answer, but like Toradora, are you familiar with that one?
Yes. Poodle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a cute anime.
I I had gotten onto like an anime forum website where like it was a very illegal pirating website where you would go stream anime, and I was like, oh, what are these little forums? And that's how I started talking to strangers on the internet, much to my parents' dismay. And so I remember Toradora was one of the ones I was really excited about because I got to discuss it weekly with people online, and I just loved Taiga. Taiga was my favorite, and I thought that she was cute, and I loved how like she was kind of tsundere, but I just loved how she took no bullshit.
She was absolutely tsundere.
Yes, yeah.
I see. So tsundere is your type, huh?
I wouldn't say they're my type, but I certainly enjoyed them
I see.
when I was much younger, yeah.
Okay. So did you also like? Do you also like romance and shoujo anime in
Oh
general?
my gosh, so much. Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
so we're just jumping way to like right now. Is there any are you watching any current anime?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I try to keep up with the current anime seasons. That's something that my husband and I do together.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cute.
there's a really cute one right now. I don't know if I remember the name off the top of my head. But it's like the two high schoolers, and she's never really dated anyone, and he's kind of
Oh, I know what
strange.
you're talking about. Hanano-kun. Hanano-kun.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
love that
one's
one
really
so
cute.
much. It's so cute. Oh, okay. So, would you consider reading the manga, maybe?
I would absolutely consider reading the manga. I have
Yes.
a really bad habit of whenever the season ends
Mhm.
and they go, yeah, we're going to get a second season. I say, that's so great. I've read the entire manga 5 minutes ago.
Actually, me too. Oh my god, I fucking love you. Fuck. Oh.
Now I have to ask,
Mhm.
last season was a really good season for
Yes.
it. Did you watch Apothecary
Yes.
Diaries?
Oh, I read the light
Now,
novels way before.
I've been meaning to read the light novels.
They're
Oh
so
my gosh.
good.
I've heard they're amazing.
Yes, they are. And there's so much content. Like the anime is way in the beginning. There's so much
Oh, I'm
that's been
sure.
built up, and it taught me. I don't know. I was so determined to read it that I learned Japanese even better.
Really? That's amazing.
So the web novels aren't translated to English, so I bought Japanese manga, and I was just furiously trying to figure out how to read this one sentence so I would know what happens next. Oh,
That's incredible. Like, if I could have an ounce of your dedication for that, I will be set for life.
I think you should. I feel it within you. You would totally do this.
Yeah, you're giving me ideas now. So yeah, I have been wanting to read the light novels so bad. So now I'm even more inspired to do that.
Please. And I would love to know what you think because in the anime
Yes.
they did a lot of stuff that I didn't even imagine. I guess it's such a beautiful anime. So
It's so gorgeous.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, I was blown away.
I would be too. Do you have a favorite character?
Oh, I mean, Mao Mao is just like she's
Yay!
so good. Although I will admit, so you know the second ending theme where
Yes.
it has Jinshi like he starts at a
Uh-huh.
window.
Yeah. I know.
And he's got
Kusumi.
oh god. I the first time I saw that, I physically screeched. It was involuntary. And every time an episode would end, I would just gently place my hand on Liam and be like, don't end the episode yet. And then I would see it and just make this strangled gurgling noise.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it just did things.
Can you give an example? I want to be like I'm Liam watching you go through this. Please, I need to know
Oh my
what this
gosh.
looks like.
I don't even know. I feel like it's so involuntary. I don't know if I can replicate it.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's so guttural. It's so oh man, that's intense.
It's just like I wasn't expecting it, especially because they go through his perspective and you can just feel the pining that he has for her.
Yes,
My god, it's
the
so good.
yearning
I'm
is so good.
obsessed.
Oh, okay, if we're gonna talk about yearning. I saw chat mention Himmel the hero. Well, Himmel the hero would watch SmolTalk, guys. Just so you know.
That's true. He would.
He
That is
would.
true.
Thank you so much. Oh, Favorite is my absolute favorite anime, so I need to know. Did you watch it?
I have. I haven't read the manga on this one, but I have watched all of it. and I'm obsessed. I have cried
Yes.
multiple times. I'm sure we all have, but I did cry
Yes,
multiple
yes.
times.
I love this anime to tears as well. Can you talk about some of the things you loved about it so I can feed off of it too?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So Freerin as a character is so brilliant because watching her for a character her so seems so unemotional, you can see such changes in her over time and
Mhm.
watching her develop and start to realize the mortality of the people around her
Mhm.
is incredible. I just like watching her start to realize how much Himmel meant to her retrospectively and
Yes.
then to realize that time is gone.
I
I'm
know.
gonna cry now. I'm gonna cry
Lilu,
now.
I need to confide in you. I need to
Yes,
confide in you.
please.
Okay, I have a friend who's watched Frieren and does not like Frieren, the character. And I need to know.
How?
Okay, so I will present one argument that he is very adamant on, okay? So
Okay,
in the
okay.
beginning, they established that they were together for 10 years constantly, right?
Mhm.
And Frieren is known to in the beginning of the series to say this phrase often of it was just a mere 10 years, right? It was just a mere 10 years.
Yes.
So it establishes that she does not perceive 10 years as much time. So um with her friends that have traveled with her in those 10 years, how come they never had a problem? Like, why are they all so cuz it's assumed they only had just met at that time due to Himmel. Like, on what basis did they all deserve to give her so much grace for being someone so indifferent? Because the typical response to such indifference would be like, how could you treat my life so like small like that and all that jazz,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
your thoughts.
I disagree with this because I think it is this coworker situation. And I had coworkers that I worked with for 5 years that quite frankly, I didn't know very much about their life. We had a
Mhm.
very cordial working relationship, but that doesn't mean that I particularly pondered the value of that working relationship or wanted to get to know them better. And I think that's very much so how it was handled as an adventuring party is that, oh yeah, we don't have any issues with each other. But in that time, she's just thinking of this as kind of a job, and they're probably, they'd like to get to know her better, but ultimately she's standoffish and they can't do anything about it.
Mhm. So do you feel that maybe she oh, let me think about this for a moment.
Sure.
So after the time skip, Fririd has to visit Himmel because she needs to go get retrieve the horn or something like that, right? So
Yeah.
she reaches him and it just occurs to her that it's just in time for the comet. My friend often said that this is a huge dick move, and if you were Freeren's friend, that you would be super pissed, kind of thing. Do you think that Ager would be justified?
I I think that as a young person, probably. But I think that it's important to remember that it's not like these are 20, 30, even 40-year-olds at this time. These are, old men who have already lived their lives, and some of the pettier things like feeling anger over being slighted by a friend probably don't occur to them at this point. I think Himmel realized the value of his bond with Freeman, and I think he just realized how she was. And
Mm-hmm.
I that's amazing and it's beautiful actually.
Isn't it? Yes,
Right, that he
I love
accepted
you.
her for who she was and didn't feel like he needed to have, you know, traditional validation from her, that didn't define their bond. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your thoughts, and I'm gonna name drop you, Ken. See, I'd love to know your thoughts, your counter arguments, cause fuck you for shitting on Himmel. Okay, but yes, I'm very much of the same opinion generally, cause Friren's subtlety as a character is really powerful in the ways of her actions and how they like
Yes.
affect others, and it's just so obvious that just because it's not so upfront to you about their friendship, like it's just that kind of bond. I don't know. I would be very invested in seeing a prequel of their adventures.
Oh my
Maybe.
gosh, I would be so surprised if they didn't do a prequel because the snippets we get are just so charming, and I'm just like, I want to see
Yes!
more of
And
them. Oh my
powerful!
gosh.
Do you
Although there is something bittersweet about that, and this is a trope that like it gets me every time where you're watching a story that you obviously already know the ending of.
Mhm.
And there's a bittersweetness where you go through it thinking, well, maybe they can be together. Maybe it'll be fine, but no, you know what's gonna happen. Himmel's gonna die, and then
Mhm.
she's gonna be alone, and then you cry.
Right. Like I genuinely the manga's not there yet, so I just genuinely don't know how the reunion will be. Cause in the end, it's just gonna end up the same way. I'm not
Yeah,
prepared. I'm not prepared.
I know.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this as well, but the manga has been declared into an indefinite hiatus. So I'm not even sure if this will ever get finished. What?
Oh, I didn't know it was on an indefinite hiatus. Oh no,
Yeah. What would you do?
not
What
the
would you do
hiatus.
if this was forever lost to the void?
Oh, I'd be sad, but the good news is that there's always more series coming out that
True.
will fill the void.
I
And
hope.
I have another recommendation for you if you liked Free Run.
Oh,
Um,
please.
have you read Witch Hat Atelier?
Oh my god, I heard there's an anime for it coming out. I have not. I
Yes.
have not. I have not, but I'm so excited. I've heard so much praise, and that's a common recommendation after Free Rin and Apothecary
Yes.
Diaries.
There is a reason that it's a common recommendation. The
Okay.
thoughtfulness of Witch Hat Atelier is unparalleled, in my opinion. And
Mm-hmm.
the way that it tackles different thematic elements is incredible, the story that it crafts. And it made me think about philosophical questions that really never occurred to me. And I kind of had an existential crisis for about a day.
Can you elaborate more on that without like spoiling, possibly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the thing about Witch Hat Atelier is that it's very thoughtful about its world building. And
Mm-hmm.
so it asks questions about if you had certain abilities and there were roles, there were rules about those certain abilities, what is morally correct in certain situations? Um, are you able to break rules for the benefit of somebody you care about? What if it
Oh.
ultimately leads to something that, could be a detriment to society as a whole?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really interesting that it asks those questions within the confines of its world building, but there's obvious themes and questions that parallel, our own world. But they do a really good job of exploring the implications of their own magic system, of their own world building, and it's just really neat. It's
Ooh,
really neat.
I'm convinced. I'm convinced. I'm so excited. Would you recommend reading or waiting for the anime?
I recommend reading it because
I
I'm too
see.
feral for it to wait.
You are so funny. I get you. Okay, okay. We have
Yes.
gotten a hydration demand. Let's drink water.
Sounds great. I have a full water bottle.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a favorite
Oh, that's such a hard question.
anime? What are
um,
some of your
I
favorites?
Yeah, so I am a really big fan of Ikahara as a director. So I usually give the answer of my favorite anime is Mawaru Penguin Drum. But I
Ooh.
I really enjoy any of his work.
Mm-hmm.
So things like Revolutionary Girl Utena, which is just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
incredibly influential.
Mm-hmm.
Yuri Kuma, I also really enjoyed. And even Stars on My was fun. His most recent work with that. But yeah, I think Mawaru Penguin Drum was a really, really big one for me.
Mm-hmm.
That I constantly go back to. Mhm.
So I've heard many things about that anime, and it's just showered with praise. Is there a way you can explain the basic premise for those who might not know?
Mawaru Penguin Drum is like the one anime that I feel like it is a little impossible for me to give you a cohesive summary
Oh my god.
without.
Okay.
It's like, well, it's hard because it makes no sense. I will tell you this. It is about a family.
Okay.
And it's about two brothers and who want to save their sister and that they
Okay.
love their sister very much.
Okay.
There are a lot of fantastical things that happen, and for the first 12 episodes, you will not understand what is happening. And you start to get story segments from, the brothers, and then you start to see these other characters, and you're wondering how all of this fits in. But then when everything starts to align and you start to
Mhm.
understand where it's going, it's a little mind blowing. And you're like, oh my goodness, it's really neat. I really love the way that all of these pieces that independently don't make sense, they start to converge.
Mhm. I'm seeing this pattern that you really, really like well-written stories.
Yes, yes.
I can
That is
I
very
feel
true.
yeah. I'm so curious. What is with this fascination of stories?
Stories is probably my biggest passion. And I am a writer myself.
Mhm.
And I think that being able to tell stories is something really important to me, as they've always been the thing that I've connected with, and it's how I understand the world. I think
Ooh.
that being able to understand characters and their motivations and their flaws helps me understand people. And in general, just like I think there's something really wonderful about stories? Yeah.
You are you a theater kid?
I'm not. I have no idea how I avoided that one.
I am shocked. I'm so shocked. I'm sure you wouldn't mind. Are you interested in theater? Would you mind acting? Does acting scare
I
you?
think I'm a little terrified of it.
Oh.
Despite the fact that I stream, I have a little bit of stage fright for actually physical acting.
Mhm.
I can't sing or dance. So I think those have always just been things that I stayed away from. But I was friends with a lot of theater kids. Now that I think about it. Wow, I was friends with a lot of theater kids.
So you
Maybe
were
I
a
was a theater kid
closet
in
theater.
spirit.
You were a closet
Yeah,
theater
like in
kid.
spirit.
Okay,
Exactly.
I get major theater vibes off you. You checked all the box except the actual box. So that's all I shall say at least. I
I think it's residual.
maybe I actually yeah. Oh man. What was I gonna Do you have commissions open?
I sure do. So I have two types of commissions open. The relevant one for our discussion right now is that I do take VTuber lore commissions. So back in the day when I was on Tumblr Hellsite, and I was really into writing fan fiction, I would take prompts, and so I would have people send me like, "What ship do you want me to write for?" And then just like a either one word or like a one sentence prompt. I would just crank that stuff out. And I
Ooh.
think that that really helped me get better as a writer.
Mhm.
But I realized recently, I was like, I kind of want to take requests again. I kind of want to do that again, but I'm not really in a fandom now
Mhm.
because it's so transient that I was like, I don't really have that same ability. So I
I
said,
see.
why don't I do VTuber lore commissions? Because you have this community of people who have these really cool concepts. Maybe they would want some help executing it.
That's actually
Hmm.
a fantastic idea. One that I'm sure many people would love to have. How would they reach if they were interested?
Yeah, so I have a website. I'd be happy to link it in the chat if that's
Feel free.
allowed.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
So I have a website. It's a card. But I bought a domain name to make it pretty. And I have both my VTuber lore on there, as well as I have my commission page for both live 2D rigging and also for my writing
Oh
commissions.
my
Mhm.
god, yes! I forgot to even mention how talented you are. Yes! She's
Oh, thank
learning
you.
rigging and she's like a writer and she plays games and she says she doesn't dance or sing, but I'm just convinced that if you put your mind to it, you genuinely could probably figure it out.
Oh,
Like you have that attitude
thank
about
you.
things, it seems.
I generally am somebody who is like, I can figure it out. I can do tutorials. We live in a good
Exactly.
age where generally I can go find a YouTube video to teach me how to do things. But yeah, singing and dancing sure is a whole different beast.
I think that's a general for the arts, right? Because they tap in more into I guess a spirit, and if you don't know how to channel the
Mm-hmm.
spirit, or maybe there's not a channel for the spirit, it's hard to get it out there. But I feel like I've forced myself to learn a couple of things, and I'm convinced at least that anyone can learn anything to some degree. Like they probably
Yeah.
yeah, some people might be capped and they'll never make it to like professional level, but fuck, if you practice enough, you get good. that's
Absolutely, and
that's
I think
how
that's
it works.
something I've been talking about with a friend lately. It's just like the amount of work that goes into, honing your craft and realizing that you didn't get here out of nowhere. It's a lot of practice and it is a lot of work.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
I so small tangent. So I want a tangent, but is there anything you'd like to maybe touch back on to add any lingering thoughts? Just checking in.
Sure. So I think in terms of the writing conversation,
Yeah.
when I was talking about how much I love stories, I think
Hmm.
VTubing is such a cool medium
Yeah.
for being able to tell stories. And it's interesting because it's so visual. I've
Hmm.
kind of struggled to figure out like how do I incorporate my writing into that. So one of the things that I've done is I have started publishing what I'm calling my flower series. And they are short stories, and each one's based off of a different flower.
Hmm.
And they correspond to different flower languages and things like that. And this is my way of being able to present Lilu's lore, at least from
Hmm.
like childhood to 1.0 kind of era.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
so cute. Is it found on your card? I actually want to see it.
Yes, yes. If you go to the just the lore section of my
Hmm.
card, I have both my lore video, which the amazing Bean did, Lil Beanie Arts.
Hmm.
I worked with them on it, and then I have the flower series. If you go a little bit lower, now I will warn you. So I think it has surprised some people that Lilu's lore is not always very happy. There are some, it's my way of expressing like things I've experienced in my own life. And
Hmm.
so I've kind of used this magical world in order to be able to tell some of that and through a character, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. And so sometimes there was one I wrote recently that has some content warnings on it.
I honestly, I'm so very impressed. It sounds like a deeply personal project, and I can't help but be in awe. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I hope at least
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you for being so willing to share. Because I genuinely think this is a very brave thing to do. Like when I go back and read deeply personal things, I end up like hiding them away because I'm like, oh, that's too personal.
Yes, I think actually it was a little bit easier to publish the fluffier ones, the ones
Hmm.
that were a little more nostalgic and maybe had a little bit of angst to them. But
Yeah.
then, oh, I see Cabbage actually mentioned Asphodel, and that's the one I was really nervous to post it. And I actually kind of sat on it for a little bit, and I had shared it with some close friends, and I had shared it with Liam, but I was like, it feels like I'm like being so vulnerable. I was so
Hmm.
nervous to post it.
How did you convince yourself to post it?
Um, I think at some point I was just thinking about the fact that I want to be able to tell the story that I have for Lilu,
Hmm.
and I was like, this is such a pivotal part. So I just put my finger on the mouse button, and then I just let myself click it without thinking about it.
Okay, is
Yeah.
it? I know you say you don't want to think about it, but can we just a little bit?
Oh, sure.
What about it? What about it do you feel is do you feel like it'll be received poorly? Is that
Yeah, I think it's like there's a certain expectation when you have
Mhm.
like a certain aesthetic and like I branded myself as a very comfy VTuber and that I have a very comfy and pretty aesthetic. So then it's I'm afraid of it being jarring to people to explore some darker concepts, I think. Even
Mhm.
though like I know that me personally as a creator, I like to have a little more, depth than just hi, I like flower, you know? And so and I
Flower
knew that
preteen.
VTubing as a medium is something I want to tell stories through, and I know the stories I want to tell aren't always going to be happy. So I had to work through those feelings of knowing that this is a little jarring considering what my branding looks like, but I also think that it could deeply resonate with people. Like it one of the big themes of, Lilu's lore is tackling
Hmm.
things like grief, tackling things like overwork and, feeling like you're trapped in institutions that don't let you be yourself. And I think that those are themes that potentially people could relate to.
Oh, absolutely. Especially on this day and age where everything's just leading to,
Yes.
yeah, I'm so glad and happy that like you pressed the button and that you shared yourself with the world, cuz I'm just getting the feeling that this is also like it's just good for your brain, this like to process this
Yeah.
this sort of thing, right? I'm just so happy cuz it's also a good outlet to let out like, I don't know, our childhood traumas deeply affect us to this day, so
Right.
any way you
But
can manifest it and get it out is probably a good thing.
I've been so deeply touched at the reception for it though.
Yeah.
Like the people that have read it and have, done literary analysis on it, like I cried.
I literally,
Oh my
someone
gosh.
did? Someone did?
Yes. Cabbage has actually in my Discord server has done like several like breakdowns of it, and I like absolutely cried. I will not lie to you. I was so touched, and like as a like literary analysis nerd, like that is
Mhm.
that is like my dream, is to be able to have work that people feel like there is value to being able to analyze critically.
Mhm.
And so being having people connect with my work and to actually sit down and read it in an age where, let's be honest, sometimes it's hard to have people engage with things for very long.
Yes.
That's incredible, and it means the world to me, really.
To like, people's attentions are so hard to like hold these
Yes.
days, and to hold someone's attention that long enough to like produce something so thoughtful is actually, I totally get you. I am so excited for you. You deserve this too. I'm so you I yes. I can't wait to read this now. I'll write
Well,
my
thank
essay as
you.
well, Cabbage. I will write a counter thesis to your statements. I is there
Well, I look forward to it.
Yay! Is there anything in particular that Cabbage wrote that would be interesting to point out?
I think that one of the things that they've shared is that really some of the things that when I sit down and I write and I say these are some things and parallels, or these are some details that I'm kind of breadcrumbing for the future, seeing people pick up on those is wild because because
You think
sometimes,
you're
you
slick?
know, yeah, sometimes you go like, okay, this makes sense to me, but I don't know if like it's gonna really make sense to other people.
Mm.
And to see other people kind of pick up on those elements is like crazy. And it's like, oh my God, did I do something right? Yes.
That I can just see like there's a call to this, a call to writing. I think there's a lot of artsy fartsy people when they do things, they feel like there's a call to do it to their being.
Yes,
I'm getting the sense that this is what writing is to you. So
it
I
is.
Oh, how exciting.
It has been something deeply personal to me, and
Mhm.
writing hasn't always been easy either. I actually went through a pretty long period where I didn't write, and I didn't feel like I was happy with anything that I did. And the last year has really been like this new renaissance for me in terms of being able to really write consistently and to, feel like I'm growing as I do it.
Mhm.
And that's been really incredible because I've really struggled with, the process of writing and feeling like I could ever be happy with it. So yeah,
What what does it mean to be happy with it?
that's such a good question. I'm a very slow writer when it comes to things that I feel are very personal. And
Mhm.
so there are some times that I won't even like open the Word doc because I feel like maybe last time that I wrote, it wasn't something that I was felt like I was getting the impression that I wanted through. So then I'll like worry about it and then I won't open it. And then strangely enough, I'll come back to it like a week later and go, "Oh, hey, this isn't really even that bad." Yeah.
Oh gosh, I want to talk about writing a little bit more, but
Sure.
Uh, well, okay, actually, this would be a good start. Where do you think how did you get introduced to writing? You didn't come out of the womb with a pen.
Um, that's a good question. I've been interested in writing for a really long time, pretty much even since I was a kid. Um, and I remember a lot of it was for school, and then the creative writing aspect of it maybe even was inspired by, fan fiction. And I remember there
Yeah.
were like some like creative writing competitions I did when I was really young, and I participated in those. But there was something about like the English classes that I would grow up and I would read these books and then we would, pick them apart. And I remember people would say, "Why does it matter if the curtains are blue? They're just blue." And I'm just like, no, it feels like there's a puzzle here. And I love being able to, put the pieces together and understand that there's a deeper element to things.
Mhm.
Um, because I certainly think that authors choose to do things other than just because they like the color blue, you know?
Yes, yes, there's intention. There's so much
Yes.
intention in the arts. That's how it becomes the art. Like there's intention with the way things become.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally see you, girl. Okay. When is there any role models for writing that you have?
Oh, okay. So I have some interesting I guess novelists that I really look up to. So my biggest inspiration is Gustave Flaubert, who wrote Madame Bovary. And I remember we had to do some like assignments about his life and it really resonated with me. They talked about how he would go into like the alleyways in France and he would just like yell the lines of his writing and make sure that they aesthetically sounded good. And I actually read my writing out loud to myself to make sure I like the way that it sounds. And so I was really inspired by that. But like, I think his use of satire is incredible. I love the flowery nature of his writing. And then just yeah, he's a really big inspiration. And then Aldous Huxley, who wrote Brave New World.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think I like a lot of satire because I'm realizing that was also a very satirical novel as well. Yeah. And then I think the last really big inspiration I have is Emily Bronte, who wrote Wuthering Heights. That was another really influential book on me as well. Yeah.
Emily Bronte. Okay, Bronte. I own this book, but I never read it. Ah, you make me want to get
It's
back into
oh,
reading so bad.
it's an adventure. I it's funny because Madame Bovary and Wuthering Heights were two books that I think everyone in my class at the time we had read them hated. And I was sitting here like, I love this. They are messy and the characters, you hate them, but there's something about loving to hate them and watching like I like watching characters like in a little petri dish doing like things that may not be very healthy in the real world, but I just like watching them like interact under a microscope.
Do you so I feel like reading is a different experience for you. How hyper in your brain do you visualize stories?
Probably a lot. um, I have been reading a lot lately, and I have found myself complaining a little bit to Liam when certain stories I feel like oh gosh, they do things that irritate me. And I think that maybe the general audience isn't quite as critical of that.
Mhm.
But I think I see missed potential and then I'm just like, but you could have done so much better. Your concept was so good. Why did you do it this way?
Mhm. I That's so much confidence. That's so much confidence in your vision. I'm so impressed. You leave me wowed. Holy shit.
Yeah. I it's something I'm really passionate about.
Mhm. Oh, are there parts to your vision do you feel like about writing that you don't feel like you're strong on? Say like you don't feel like a certain genre like you get at all.
Oh my gosh, I think like action, the ability to write action scenes is kind of wild to me, and I generally keep everything pretty character driven.
Ah.
But yeah, action scenes are something I don't feel very strong in, and I just really haven't done a lot of it.
I see. Okay. Well, it'd be like, oh, just read more and you'll figure it out, kind of thing. I wish,
Yeah.
I wish reading. I reading action scenes for me is so difficult. Like I can't even picture what's going on really well.
Yes, I'm the same way, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm reading this light novel called 86. I said reading. I haven't touched the fucking series
Oh,
in
I've
like a
heard
while.
really good things about that one.
It's so good. You're talking about writing. You should read that light novel. It's absolutely fantastic and has all the
Interesting.
beautiful twists and turns. I think that will tickle your mind. I really liked it, but it's a mech anime. It's a mecha anime, so its main theme is battles. I can't see what's going on at all. There's like
Yeah.
chapters dedicated to battles that I'm not sure. Is there actual cohesive action scenes? Like, or is
I'm
there?
sure that there are somewhere. Um,
Hmm.
I think it can be really hard with writing as a medium to convey like the beat by beat actions that are
Oh,
happening with it.
absolutely, yeah.
So sometimes I think that the talk no jutsu approach that Naruto took actually can work well in writing, where it's more about the intention and the feelings and like what does this fight mean to the characters, necessarily not the this is beat by beat what happened, which is much better represented, I think, in a visual medium, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that does make sense.
Hmm.
Really quick, we are approaching the 1 hour mark of going to take a break. So I was just gonna check in with you. How are you feeling? Do you think you want to talk or chat while I go on a break, or would you like to take a break as well?
I think a break sounds good. Do you have a general time that you usually like to how long you like to take the break?
Yes, 5 minutes, and then we'll stream for 2-ish hours or whenever is the next convenient stopping point.
Sure. Yeah, 5 minutes would be perfect. I think I'd like a break as well.
Okay then. Then I'll catch y'all after 5 minutes. So, and thank you so much for, by the way, for like being so much fun to talk to. I am looking forward to talking about the guest, the chat questions. So that
Yeah.
yeah, we'll be approaching new topics. Could you? I tend to jump from topic to topic, so I'm so worried that you didn't talk enough about things that you wanted to. Is there anything you'd like to like just say?
Um, maybe when we come back, we could talk about Live 2D a little bit because I know that you're an
Yeah!
incredible artist, and maybe we could talk about rigging.
Oh, absolutely! I'm so happy to. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. We'll get to some live 2D questions then after the viewer questions. And with that, we shall go on our 5 minute break. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye
Sounds
bye.
good.
welcome back from the ad break and from the break in general. Hi, guys.
Hello, hello.
We will now answer viewer questions, and afterwards we get to talk about some Live 2D stuff. And I actually wanted to ask about your experience streaming with your partner, which is such I think
Yeah,
is a very unique experience that we should please talk about. But okay.
for
First,
sure.
first question from Beewee Crover. Hot dog or hamburg? Your answer means everything.
Hot dog because I'm not a big fan of like beef, so burgers in general, I'm very picky.
What's in the hot dog, though? I mean,
I don't question it. We
okay,
don't
okay,
there's
you're
we
right.
don't ask what's in the hot dog.
Yeah, no, on small talk. We don't ask that question there. All right, thank you
Yeah.
for your question, Pee Wee. Liam asks favorite anime.
Oh, I answered that one, and if you ask me again, I'm gonna give you a different answer.
Let's see what this answer is for now.
I think another really formative anime that I love a lot is Ancient Magus Bride.
I love that one. The music is so good. Another
God,
fantastic fantasy. You are
so good.
I love your taste. Okay.
I'll say, Betsy, your taste is also impeccable, so we're gonna
I
have to talk more about
I
this.
would love to. I'm a little bit of a fantasy nut as well.
Yay!
I love fantasy, so I'm so happy to talk to you about it. But let's see. Liam asks, of your flower series, which one was your favorite to write, or is there an event you haven't written that you're excited to get to? You have permission to answer both if you'd like.
Yeah, I think I can answer both for that.
Yay!
So recently, I think my favorite one to write is actually the one I just posted, Zinnia, and because it's a really unique one for the series. I have a really, really good friend. Actually, she was my first VTubing friend, Hedwich Rin, and I adore her so much. And we actually talked about, she was trying to think about her lore, and she said, "Hey, would you mind, could I utilize the setting and the world building you have?" And I was like, girl, I would love that.
Oh!
So our lore is actually interconnected, and I wrote Zinnia as a kind of a gift for her, but also as kind of like, this is them meeting later in life, and this is them after having, gone through a lot of stuff. We'll just call it stuff. And I think that was really neat, being able to tie lore and for things that I know are also like deeply personal for her and for
Mhm.
me. That was really cool. Yeah.
That is such a crazy way to write your friend a love letter. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I write my friends fan fiction basically.
I am in love. It's so fun. So she knew that it was dedicated to her.
Yeah, so
Ah,
originally I had
awesome.
asked a few people, I said, "Do I have your permission to use your OC?" Basically. I
Mhm.
always want to make sure I have people's permission before I try to write their character. And so I think she knew it was coming. And then I had shared a little bit with her beforehand. And then I was like, "I want you to just check this over, make sure that there's nothing that I totally got out of character."
Mhm.
And then, yeah, but luckily it seemed like she really liked it. So.
I'm so happy. You seem so from how I see it, like you have such a supportive family, and you have such a lovely friendship right here. Like I would love to just, I don't know, just give you a hug.
Well, I would love to give you a hug as well.
No way.
I feel very, very fortunate for where I
Yeah.
am in my life, and I feel very fortunate for the people that are around me, for sure.
Right. And
Yeah.
I see, like, you're oozing with like appreciativeness and thoughtfulness for your surroundings. You're very considerate, very incredibly considerate. Holy shit.
I
Oh,
I try to be, and part of it's the anxiety. So
I get you. You overthink
yes.
it so that nothing could be wrong because you thought about what could go wrong.
Exactly. You get it. You get it. And I think for the second half of Liam's question, the next of the flower series is probably the one I'm really looking forward to writing,
Ooh.
and it'll be called Fern. And all I'll say about this one is that Fern in floriography refers to magic and secrecy. This one will be especially important for the lore that'll be coming up for 2.0. And it'll be the last one that's a little darker.
Ooh,
So I
Ooh.
am very excited to share Fern with people.
Wait,
Yes.
when will you post it?
Um, I am outlining right now, so it'll
Mhm.
probably still be a few weeks. And that's if the stars all align correctly.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Yes.
So, there's no set schedule to releasing at the moment. There's just
No, no, it is kind of as I'm able to get my writing process
I
in
see. Okay,
order.
okay.
And this one I will leave as a fun little drop that we won't get into, but I'm also attempting to write a novel. So that one's also trying to juggle the time with that one as well. So,
Oh my gosh, Lulu, I have this vision. Like I see all the time, like people write about their OCs enough that like they just make full on comics and the comics get like popular and it gets like its own show. Like it's like so I really, really am excited for you. I have so many I will support you. Support the
ah,
hell out of
thank
you. Let's
you.
fucking go. Uh
Oh, you're so sweet.
no, okay. So Ilith asks, with all of the flower theming in your writing and VTuber model, I'm really impressed with the consistency with your design choices. Can you tell us a little about your branding process for Lilu? What a lovely question. I'd love to know as well.
Interesting. Okay, so I really love branding in general, and I like when things are very like polished and cohesive. So I try to be very intentional about all of the branding choices that I make, and I think for me, flowers are a really cool way of showing that intentionality. So like the flowers on my hat are very aesthetically pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
But as I think I've said this a couple times, they're constantly in bloom for lore reasons. So no matter how you draw the hat, it is canonically correct. That will not be the case for my 2.0 hat.
Ooh.
Those flowers will be intentional and static. They'll have their own meanings associated with them. And so I think like florography is a really cool way of kind of it's like a little cheat code that you just like, oh, there's flowers in this scene, and you look it up and it's just like, oh, now I have a deeper meaning of like what the intention was. um but I think in general, I try to think about intentionality with things with branding of, does this give the vibe that I'm going for?
Yeah.
um yeah, yeah.
Ooh. Okay, okay, okay. So can you break down maybe some of the reasonings for the flowers you've chosen?
Sure. So I have actually a like a whole branding document
Let's
that
go.
I might pull up just so I have something to reference. Give me just one moment to pull that up just so I have the actual things. Um
Polyography is definitely one of those things that like tickle your brain when used. It's like, oh yeah,
yes.
I've
Oh my gosh, it does.
small tangent while you're messing with the document. There's like this
Mhm.
manga that I read a long time ago called Imadoki Days, and it has like strong usage of flowers to this day. Like I still yeah,
Oh.
I'm just like, oh, the yellow rose means rejection and white means love and reciprocation and pure I don't know, all the simple rose stuff, but it really tickles me to like, oh, you can communicate in so many ways.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that, and I will also say that was another one from Flaubert as well, that Madame Bovary has a ton of flower language in it, and it's used
Mhm.
very satirically, and I think it's really funny because like, they had this scene where she was cheating on her husband, right? And
Ooh.
it's like, "Oh, that's not great," and then the flowers in the scene were all about things like fidelity. And so,
The
like, it was
irony.
very tongue in cheek.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not finding my document at the oh, or I don't think it's this one. Where did my document go? But I can tell you this. So I do have a lot of like lily the valleys and peonies and lilacs. So like lily the valley is a really cool one for me because it's about like new beginnings, especially things like after pain.
Mhm.
Um and I think like peonies are I want to say was that one was bashfulness. And I think that like basically what I wanted to convey with the flower language with the 2.0 flowers is that Lilu's coming out of a time of her life where she had to like heal from a lot of really painful things, right?
Mhm.
And that this is her moving on from things and being able to show who she really is. I think that, you know, as a character, she felt like I have to like lay low, right? And
Mhm.
she was afraid of being vulnerable. And as a parallel to my own life, I've also been trying to be more vulnerable and try to
Yeah.
like, yeah, show more. And so, yeah.
Your efforts are being seen. We love you.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, I think that wraps up that question.
Yes.
Bewee Crover asks, oh wait, yes, did you answer the hot dog or hamburger? Please tell me, I need to know so bad.
Yes, don't worry, V, we got it.
Woo! Okay, and the last question has been asked by Illith. Favorite Naruto character? Kakashi and Sakura don't count for this.
Oh, you can't do that to me. You know that those are my favorite. Okay, I'm gonna give a controversial answer, and it's a very new answer.
Ooh.
Sasuke Uchiha is one of my new favorite characters, and I spent years hating this guy.
What happened?
However, I think he has one of the best character arcs at the end of the series, where they actually gave him this very thoughtful character arc about dealing with, you know, the guilt that he feels for his actions, and feeling like, does he deserve to have a family? Does he deserve to be happy, you know, at his home? And like, he has to go around helping people, and this was very influential on Lilu's lore. I will admit it. Sasuke Uchiha was influential on my VTuber lore.
Lilu is
that,
Sasuke Uchiha.
Wait, did you say who is he?
No, I said you are. Lilu is.
Oh yeah. In some strange ways, I really like character development, and I thought it was such a cool character arc to, you know, kind of explore those themes. Because for some reason, Kishimoto as an author is like really, really based like 4 times, and then the rest of the time you need to take his characters away and confiscate them, like, you know, like
Aw.
character fictional CPS. I'm taking your characters away.
I know,
Yeah.
I know plenty of authors for that. Fujimoto.
Yes.
I've seen what's going on with Chainsaw Man.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy, yeah.
Oh, are you reading?
I have not read the new stuff, but I've heard things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That side of the internet's on fire right now. But anyway,
Mhm.
back to over here. So,
Yes.
Life 2D, yeah. I
Yeah.
had some questions, but was there anything you'd like to start us off with?
I guess I can tell you a little bit about how I got into it.
Please.
I got into it very much so out of necessity. So I had this really cute chibi model that I wasn't expecting to get. Because what happened was this artist that I really love, Xpori, or I think like her Twitter name's Joyce. It's just her art's so good. And so she opened up applications, and they weren't first come first serve. So I said, you know what? I'm having a spicy little moment where I'm gonna apply for this, because so many people are applying. I won't get chosen. It'll be fine.
Ooh.
15 minutes later, I got a message going, "Oh my god, I would love to do this model for you." And I said, "All right, we're doing it now." And so she did the art for it, and then I realized, oh my god, I now have to get this rigged. And then I said, well, I have some budget constraints, first of all. And then second of all, a lot of the riggers that I had, like, you know, picked out were just booked. They were just busy. So I think I was talking to Bewee Crover. And I said something about, like, you know, I've always kind of been interested in the process of rigging. I
Ooh.
wonder if I could learn it. And B was so supportive and actually taught me so much about it. I went out to YouTube and I found tutorials, because luckily, this is a really great time to learn rigging, where there's so many resources and so many tutorials. I followed a tutorial from start to finish. And then for some of the parts, like, how do you rig the hat? Like, how do you rig that perspective? B was awesome and helped me a lot. So yeah, I'm eternally grateful.
How long do you think that time was? Like, how long did it take you to go through it?
I have a really wild answer for you. It took me exactly 1 month from starting the rig on my chibi model to finishing it.
Let's go! 1 month
I
rig.
fixated really hard.
I've seen it. I love the way it turned out. Like, for a first model, I even showed some of my model friends when you posted. They're like, that's very impressive. Very impressive.
Thanks. I've rigged a couple models since then now, and now I'm like itching. I'm like, I want to re-rig it. I see the problems, and I'm like, oh, I want to re-rig her, but I also have some other stuff coming down the pipeline, so I'm like, I don't know if I'll have time.
Like what? Can you spoil us? What's down the pipeline?
I can. So B is doing the art for my 2.0 model, and actually, I think is going to be streaming it either tonight or another time. Um,
Ooh,
but it's going to be like, oh my God, the art's just looking incredible, and I'm so excited.
let's go!
And I will be rigging that, and I'll be rigging it on the stream actually. So yeah, I have kind of decided after after starting out VTubing where I didn't show anything, I realized that it's much more fun to be able to share things
I
as I get them. So
fucking
I no longer
agree.
like keep things hidden.
Yes, I'm the same way. I also do covers, so I'll just like stream me drawing my next cover. Because at this point, it's like
Yeah.
otherwise I can't stream, but I can't draw if I'm streaming.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
That's exactly it.
Make the content a journey, and you'll just always be on a journey. So
Yeah, I love that way of approaching it. It's been
yeah.
really fun. I streamed a lot of the rig for my chibi model, and I am really excited to stream the rig for my 2.0 as well.
What's been some of the hurdles of rigging?
Oh my gosh. So I am not an artist by trade. It's something that I've been kind of picking up here and there. I have been trying to get into drawing just a teeny bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so that you don't realize coming into rigging how much perspective you need to have. And so I have learned so much about art through rigging now. And that's kind of where B has been an incredible friend and resource and mentor because I'll say I don't understand that like how this is supposed to move. My brain is not clicking, and B has broken it down even just like on post-it notes for me that it's just like, oh, now this makes sense. But it can be really challenging if you don't have an art background, kind of trying to imagine how things are supposed to move or like what
Yeah.
is that perspective supposed to look like at this angle. That's been very challenging. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. BB sounds like they have like a really strong sense of object permanence.
Yes. B, I will just take a moment to really just love on B because they are
Please,
an
please, yes, friend
incredible,
shout out.
incredible artist. Yeah. They are so talented. And one of the things when you said like I think anyone can learn anything, is I have watched B in the last 2 years just go, I could learn that. And then they picked up animation, they picked up live 2D rigging. They have just like everything that they're just like, yeah, I'll try it. And then they have just done an amazing job. So it
Yeah.
has been really inspiring for me actually to go, yeah, I think I could try that too. And then, why not? You're not going to start good, but that's okay.
Oh, you guys are like this like positivity feedback loop. I love it. Yes, inspire each
Yes.
other to do all kinds of things. Please. I'll watch and maybe I'll even get inspired.
I
I'm
hope
thinking about
so.
writing again cuz I've been thinking about my lore recently. In fact, I've even
Oh my
looked at
gosh, you
hiring
should.
you, but I'm in a financial spot where I can't. So
Oh, girl, I understand. Don't you worry. I understand. But I
yeah.
have also, VTubing has been such an amazing experience for being surrounded by other passionate creators. Because,
Oh,
like, I know
yes,
I've
yes, yes, yes,
definitely
yes,
been
yes.
inspired by you as an artist and by my
Oh,
friends B and Ren. Starius Ram Marilyn is another one that, like, I just really enjoy, like, watching her rig and draw. And it's just
mhm.
been really cool to just be surrounded by so many talented people and watch
I
them work.
get you. I get you.
Yeah.
It's I'm being presumptuous at this point, but I'm like getting the sense you're also like a sponge. You are what is around you, and when you're surrounded by like good vibes and good things, you can't help but just like take it in, right? I totally
Yes. Yeah, you're
and
totally
in
right.
strides, and it's a good way to coast through life. So I just yeah, I can't help but see that for you, and I'm just vibing like, hey, yes, go do you.
Thank
It's
you. Yeah, I'm so fortunate to be around so many cool
yeah,
people
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So I'm very inspired by everyone around.
Let's go. Do you feel like your community is filled with just all kinds of talented folks?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's
How
something that has blown me away is just
yeah.
how talented everybody in the community is. And we always kind of say we're a very artist-friendly community. But it's more so just like I looked around and I'm like, "Oh my God, everyone's so talented." Be it
Everyone's an
music
artist?
or yeah, like everyone's an artist or they're
Yeah.
a musician or
Mhm.
a rigger and I'm just like, "Oh my God, you are crazy."
I think it's just so easy now to find like-minded folks when you just come onto a stream because you just kind of attract the people that vibe with you, and so it's so nice when the people that vibe with you are like passionate as well. I'm just I'm very pleased to see it in so many places. Uh,
Yeah, I feel the same way for sure.
how would you describe your community in 3 words?
Um, I would say cozy, um, passionate, and silly.
And silly. You think they're
And
funny?
silly. Yeah, I think they're really funny. But it is so funny. Sometimes I'll be working and then I'll go back and I'll check my Discord and I'm just like, what are you all talking about? And there's just some kind of like silly war going on about, like, I think that at one point there was like, somebody had started the brigade against fish and I don't
What?
remember what it was, but then there were teams that were like somebody was pro fish, somebody was anti fish. Um,
In what
just silly things like that.
context?
Yeah.
I love sushi, so I.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, you remember that, Ilith, because I remember you were very pro fish for good reasons. So
Would you say that's like your favorite moment? Do you have a favorite moment of from with your community so far?
oh my gosh. I don't know if I have a favorite moment just because
Hmm.
there's been so many wonderful ones. Um
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really hard to like really pick out one just because I think I'm just constantly having fun with everybody. Yeah.
Hmm. I know, like, for streaming wise, having a Discord and an offline presence is very important. But it's also just such a fun way to hang out with people off stream and stuff. How do you manage, I guess, that kind of environment? Because I think so for content
Yes.
creators, it's hard. It's difficult to like do streaming and Discord server.
That is such a good question. So, especially having a partner that streams as well, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's involved online as well. It has been a really big challenge for us. How do you balance, your IRL life, your family,
Yeah.
your work, your hobbies, and then also like an offline, a
Yeah.
community when you're not streaming. And it has been a really big process for us finding that kind of balance. We're both pretty extroverted people, and so like I still have friends that I want to see who are local.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to go and get out of the house. And that means that there are times that I just have to leave the Discord, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be around. But what I know is that we have some really wonderful mods. We have some really wonderful people who are in the community and that they can have fun without me. And I think that's like my favorite part is that
I
like everyone can have fun and I can come back later and join in, but like they're all just really cool on their own.
it's like coming home. It's such a good feeling.
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think that they also understand as well that I have to have that balance where
Hmm.
sometimes I disappear for a little bit and I completely acknowledge that. But I'll need to go offline and I'll need to spend some time with Liam or go see a friend, go see family. And then sometimes work is just hard. I work as a
Yeah.
software developer during the day, and there are some
Hmm.
times where I'm just like, okay, I got it. I guess I gotta go veg. Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, I fucking know you. I know you. I'm you.
It
uh,
sounds like we're very similar. I love that.
it pains me to feel so similar. Like, I just know the
Yeah.
pains. There's too many things pulling you in so many directions. You're pulled by the whims of your like passion, but you're passionate about everything. So it's like,
Oh my
oh.
gosh, yes. That is exactly how I would describe it, is that you're pulled by the winds of your passions, but you're passionate about everything. Yes.
Yeah. Like
And I keep thinking I want to pick up another hobby, and then I'm like, Lulu, what time do you have to do that?
I
What are
can't.
you doing? Oh
Oh
my god,
man.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I want to learn animation. I want to pick up the piano. I want to learn all these things. I'm like, I can
Yeah.
barely find time to eat and shower.
I know. Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, I
Oh,
was thinking about picking up like knitting, and then I
mm-hmm.
was like, "Girl, what time do you have to learn that? You're
Yeah.
doing live 2D rigging, you're doing writing, you're doing streaming,
We're
all
approaching the
of the
summer.
yeah, right. We're approaching the summer. Oh my gosh, like I don't have time to try to knit."
Oh,
Yeah.
I get you. I get you. I okay. So I have two topics that I'd like to touch on. One is
Sure.
maybe not your software job and the details of it, but VTubing and balancing a job life is interesting to me. And I also want to talk about living as a streamer with a basically another streamer who's also your partner. I think those are two very
Yeah.
interesting topics. Can Is there one that you like to talk more about than the other?
I would say, yeah, I'd love to talk about, what it's like having a partner who's also into content creation.
Please, then yes. Like, how did you
Yeah.
both decide? Yeah, let's both be streamers.
So, streaming is something that Liam has wanted to get into as long as I've known him.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
I've always been like, you should try it out. You should do it. And there's always kind of been this element of, well, I don't know how I feel about using my face, and I don't know how I feel about, like kind of showing who I am on stream. I think we're very private people. And
Mm-hmm.
so that element of it is kind of not our thing. So then I got into VTubing, and it was like, whoa, this is perfect. This is like, we can for me, I got the
Thank
character
you for the
creation
rate,
and the story element
Cara.
of it. And then I think for him, for both of us really, it also provided a safer way to stream as well. So yeah. Um so that's how we kind of got into it. We both decided we wanted to do it together, and that we wanted to have this kind of interconnected lore. Um, and I think for him, it's still an ongoing process of figuring out, like, what is his brand? How does he want to do this?
Hmm.
And so that's something that I am just like, whatever you need, we'll make it happen.
I'll make your
But
dreams come
I
true.
remember, yeah, early on we were both trying to stream like 3 times a week, and then we realized, oh my god, all we're doing is streaming. Like it was a lot. It was so much. So part of it is we cut back quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've kind of gotten more consistent, and then the next step of it is that he's going to get much more consistent as well, especially as he's going to be going through a rebrand.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
so I think that he and I have found things like, for example, streaming earlier is a much better thing for me, because I feel like I have a little bit more energy before it gets to be like a 7 8 p.m. start time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for him, he actually really prefers streaming later. So he may end up doing like late night weekend streams, for example.
Okay.
So we're kind of finding those times where it's like, I have energy, I can stream, but we don't feel like we are just constantly doing nothing but streaming and watching each other.
I Damn, that sounds so. You guys have been at this for a while, and so I'm assuming that there was like a lot of lessons to be learned. Is there any in
Yes.
particular that like you'd like to share?
Yeah, so I think I made a post about this recently. It's something that I realized that's helped me a lot. And it's really just finding things that you enjoy doing, but
Mm-hmm.
also aren't going to like completely drain you. Because I started out VTubing with the goal that I wanted to play comfy games and visual novels.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was trying to figure out how to do streaming and how to grow and all these things, I actually deviated from it quite a bit. And I tried new things, because ultimately I do like things like card games, and I do like things like, roguelike games, and some games that are, I guess, a little more high intensity. But what I noticed was after I streamed, I just felt so exhausted. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I don't want to go this long. And I just like, I was dead afterwards. And recently, as I have come back to streaming more consistently, I realized I was like, you know, it might not be the thing, TM, that like is gonna, shoot numbers up the roof or whatever. But these are the things that like I genuinely enjoy doing, and it attracts the people that I really enjoy being around. Playing
Mm-hmm.
comfier games, and I guess just like lower energy things like art streams, or rigging streams. And it's nice because it also allows me to have hobbies like offline. Like
Yeah.
for example, Hades 2, an absolutely phenomenal, amazing game. I will never stream it. I will never stream it, but I love playing it offline.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's been a much healthier balance. So the basically this is a very long-winded way of saying you don't have to stream everything you like, and if it stresses you out, don't do it.
I think
Yeah.
maybe I needed that lesson.
Oh yeah.
I I
It's
love
been a hard one to learn.
I'm struggling. I'm trying to convince myself, oh, I can't wait to play Hades 2, but I need to wait to get a time to stream it. But now I'm like, you know what? Maybe if I just play it right now, who cares? I don't need to stream
Exactly. I
it.
think it's so important to still have things for yourself.
Hmm.
Just to basically still have the games that is just like, I am
Yeah.
playing this because I enjoy playing a game and not because I need to make content out of it.
I need to learn that too. I'm just a few
Yes.
steps behind. Okay.
Yeah. No, you'll
I
get there. You just
thank you.
gotta
Yeah,
make sure
yeah,
you do
yeah.
whatever works for you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Um, how about we loop back around and can I ask you about how you found like balance within like so many things in your life? Cause I could use some of that.
Yeah, for sure. So first I had a few existential crises. But
Nice.
in all seriousness, I went through a really really bad period of burnout.
Mm-hmm.
One, I will tell you, I went about a year ago. I switched my job because the job I was at was kind of killing me, and that is that is something I have taken into my lore, and that I realized like this is something that if I don't leave this, it is affecting my physical health.
Mm-hmm.
And I then switched to a job where it's so much more balanced, and I learned that it's okay to take time to recover and to have some restorative time. And I think that was really helpful also with realizing things like streaming, that I shouldn't be constantly pushing myself and pushing myself. It's okay to take restorative time. So I kind of backed off for a while, and then I said, okay, I'm going to figure out how to be a person for a little bit first and get all my priorities in order, mostly health things, right? And get my health back in order.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which was very important, but we're good now. And so after that, I started slowly introducing things again, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to get overwhelmed. What is something I can do to kind of help this? And the way I've been doing it is, for one, I have a planner.
Me
And
too.
I kind of micromanage my time. I will not lie. I even have tasks that it's like remember to message the Discord. Remember to schedule posts on Twitter. Things like that. And so it's like I micromanage a lot of my time, and I set reminders for specific things. And as much as I hate it when people are like, if you go to bed earlier and then you go take some walks outside, you'll feel better. And then I'm like, oh yeah, sure, that's what everyone says. They're right.
Yeah, they
They're
are
right.
so right.
Right? Yeah, going to bed earlier and also, like getting more active actually helped a lot. And then I have
Mhm.
more energy now so that I can stream a little bit longer. And I've been taking baby steps in, streaming more frequently during the week, or having a longer stream. And so I think doing things incrementally is really important.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And that was before I just jumped in full force and was like, all right, we're doing the streaming thing. We're just gonna do 5 days a week. And it was like, oh, that was not a good idea.
How long though?
So
How
yeah.
long do you think it took you to get burnt out?
Um, about a year.
A
About a year,
year
yeah.
of just doing that, girl. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
And so it wasn't always like I didn't stream 5 days a week. I think I did that. I think I was doing 4 days a week pretty consistently for about 6 months. And then after that, I cut it down to about 3 times a week. But then they were really long streams, and they were things that really exhausted me.
Mm-hmm.
And so just about after my 1 year anniversary, actually, no, I took a month off. I took 2 months off to rig my model and to like get ready for my 1 year anniversary. And then I had taken a little bit of time after that because I realized I went through that period of like, I need to readjust and realign like my
Yeah.
streaming and what I want to do. Um, yeah. And then ever since it has been so much better.
I'm so
Yeah.
happy to hear that, and that's very hopeful for me to hear as well. I'm so glad. I hope too that
Yeah.
like you go far, Lilu. You have so many things to do. I'm certain.
I hope so. And I certainly think that you will as well. And it's just all about, taking care of yourself and being able to balance like it's hard to appeal to a community that you want to make sure that you're still, you want to make them proud, but then at the
Right.
same time, you got to make sure that you're also taking care of yourself. And
Hmm.
that's a very hard lesson to learn.
It is because this is me maybe like trying to see a knowledge check here, but it's like as a streamer, you are also like a person who can speak for others in a space. You are the sole voice, so being able to like empower others of taking care of yourself, I
Yeah.
think it's so important to like show others like yes, you can take care of yourself and do a crazy amount of shit and be tired and be okay. I think just showing others how to
Yeah.
be okay is so
You
important.
know, I have a hot take for you.
Please.
Something that has actually bothered me a little bit within the streaming space and the
Mhm.
VTubing space is that I see a lot of people kind of make jokes about their own inability to take care of themselves and
Oh
say like,
yeah.
"Oh, I need chat to take care of me," or "I need people to remind me to like drink water," or they kind of like have some self-deprecating humor, and that's something that's actually bothered me because I think that it's actually better to try, like you said, to set an example for the people in your community. So whenever I do hydrate tasks on my redeems on my channel, I also try to encourage other people. Hey, take a drink with me, or if we're gonna go to a break, you all get up and stretch as well.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times we don't realize when we use self-deprecating humor how much we're kind of conditioning ourselves.
Mhm.
And I think that as streamers setting an example, we're a really good place to start with, showing, hey, we can do these things and we can set healthy
Oh
behaviors.
yeah.
So that's my hot
Exactly.
take.
I don't. I fuck. It, I have a hot take too. If that's the case with that, I'm like same take though. Like I genuinely believe like words are very powerful. Like
Yeah.
even if you don't mean them, if you say something enough, it starts meaning something to you.
Oh
So
my gosh, yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so taking care of yourself in this case, like even if it's hard, like you owe it to yourself to at least say, it's like give yourself a chance to overcome things. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I always try to stress that, like, I am a competent person and that, like, sure, stuff always happens on a stream,
Mhm.
but I think that you can be kind to yourself, but also acknowledge, like, hey, a mistake doesn't mean I'm incompetent. And so I try not to do things like say, oh, I'm so bad at math, or, oh, I just have no
Yeah.
idea what I'm doing, because I don't want to internalize that. And I also don't want other people to think that that's okay either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am such
Yeah.
okay. I'm sure you'll agree with this too. That like of the mindset, like don't talk to yourself like you wouldn't to a friend. Like talk to yourself like you would a friend. Like if a friend
Oh
messed up,
god, yeah.
why would you ever berate them? And go like you're an idiot. Oh, you suck. Like that's not a friend, and you don't deserve to do that to yourself. Like you deserve to be a friend to yourself, especially since you'll be
It's
living with
so
yourself for
funny you say that.
years.
That's so funny you say that because I actually am incredibly critical of myself, and I part of the whole process of like fixing the burnout and some of the things is I had gone into therapy for a little bit,
I
and I
see.
remember my therapist had said that to me, and she was like, you say such awful things to yourself. Would you ever say that to someone you love? And I was like, no, of course not. I would never say that. And something that some of my friends have been saying to me, and Liam used this on me yesterday, and and they said, hey, that's my friend you're talking about. And I'm just like, oh, you got me.
You
That
got.
actually, oh, you're so right. That has genuinely had such an impact on me.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Liam said yesterday, I don't remember what I had said, but he said, hey, that's my wife you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're having fun learning your lessons too. This is how so touching back on what I said earlier, like I'm confident you can learn anything. I'd like to give more elaboration on that. It's not that you can learn anything. I think that you are a problem solver and you are very determined on to solve problems and you'll find that
Yeah.
solution. And so that's a little different than being like, oh, you can learn anything. I'm just confident you'll find your solution. So,
That that may kind of go back to the fact so I mentioned that I do software engineering as a day job.
hmm.
Like I actually have a master's degree in engineering. So like you're very much so on the nose when you're like you are a problem solver. I'm like that is correct
That is
actually.
my
That is something.
degree. I am a degree
Yeah.
problem solver. I love it.
Yes.
How how did you end up being a VTuber?
Because I am a big nerd, and I love anime, and I think like a lot of people during the pandemic, I was like, what's this whole like VTubing thing going on? Because I can actually tell you exactly what
Yeah,
happened.
okay.
I'm really into Vocaloid and Utayate. Um,
Yeah!
and I absolutely Eve is my absolute
Mhm.
favorite. And I remember being so excited because I noticed I was like, wait, there are clips of him playing like Apex with Mafu Mafu and Sararu. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And then at one point, I saw a clip of him and he was playing with an anime boy. And I was like, hold on. What's happening here? And it was Kanae from Niji Sanji.
Oh,
And then I fell down the rabbit hole because I wanted
let's
to know more about him.
go!
And so Niji Sanji was exactly what got me into VTubing. And then I started watching a lot of Kiryu Coco.
Mhm.
And she was a really big inspiration for me as well. And then I think I was joking with a friend. I was actually joking with a friend. We were talking about a clips of I think it was like Fox Akaba or something. And I said something to the effect of like, oh haha, I wish I was a VTuber. And she says, why aren't you? And I was like, wait, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, no, you'd be really good at this. And I was like, oh, you're serious, serious.
Let's go!
And
Thank you, friend!
so then I went to Liam and I was like, oh, my friend said this funny thing. And he goes, yeah, I agree with her. You should do it. And so I told him that's when we had said, I was like, well, I know you've wanted this stream. So I tell you what, if you do it with me, then we'll do it.
And now look where we are.
hmm
I am so happy. That's such a pleasant beginning.
right?
Especially
Yeah, it's actually pretty wholesome.
that is, and considering, I guess, so you and Liam, the little bit of lore I know is that you guys both co-own like a little tavern, right? Like,
Yeah.
how did that come to
Clary's
be? Yes.
It's Clary's Botanicals and Brews.
Mhm.
So I own the potion shop part of it, and he owns the tavern part of it. So IRL during the pandemic, the hobby that Liam picked up was bartending. And when I say bartending, I'm not talking like, oh, he's just gonna make some, simple cocktails. I mean, this man was making his own syrups. He was like making his own, components for the drinks. And I had the luxury of getting to test them. It was wonderful. So
Aww.
he found the passion with that, and he's always loved like, like werewolves and things. And so he was like, this is the character that I really want to do. And then, I had told you how I developed Lilu.
Mhm.
And I said, like, how do we kind of like marry these things together? And we had the idea of like, hey, what if, or Liam's a werewolf who is cursed, and then Lilu is the witch that kind of like is trying to help him break the curse or at
Oh,
least manage it.
cute.
And so they both have their own independent stories, and they have
Mhm.
their own independent struggles, but then they've kind of found and made a home together, and they've opened the shop where, the idea is eventually like you'd be able to get some like magical brews and things like that.
Mhm. That is so cute, and that'd make a really nice romance story. I look forward to those. I'd write fan fiction. I was a romance fanfic writer. Okay, I don't mind getting started for you. Let's go.
So, okay, I'll admit when we talk about like being vulnerable and being shy to post things,
Mm.
that one is like there I have all the ideas in my head, but then I'm like, "Oh, I'm so shy. Oh, I can't post this." It's like, this is a reflection of me and my husband. What if people know I like him?
They're gonna know I have a crush. Oh.
I know, it's so embarrassing to like be affectionate with your husband. I
That
don't know.
is
I get really shy about like physical affection.
ha-
And so it's like behind closed doors, I'm so, we're very, very affectionate. But then as soon as I get into streaming mode, I'm just like, yeah, I guess Liam's okay. He's cool.
oh, you are so cute. Wait, so how do you guys act around each other on stream?
I think that we just kind of act like we're best friends. Like that is
Mm.
something that's how we started, is we were best friends. And so I always have fun with him. And so like for example, we did some Minecraft streams together, and it's something I want to do again. Um so
Oh.
it'll be one of those things where, we might tease each other if something happens. Or he's very supportive and I'll be like, "Hey, I need you to come clear out this cave with me." you know? But in general, if he says anything flirtatious, I blue screen.
Oh. I bet he loves doing that to you.
He does. He does a lot.
How long have you two been together?
So we have been married actually just over 7 years. We just
Ooh.
celebrated our 7-year anniversary in May. Um,
Congratulations!
Thank you. And then September will be coming up on 10 years total together, which is like weird. It feels fake. That's like a fake number.
At some point, time does start feeling fake, right? Especially when it comes
Right.
like.
And you're just like, I'm not even that old. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, anyway. Wow, so
Yeah.
you and Leo, ooh. Oh, so actually, streaming. So I too have a significant other who occasionally streams, and so he doesn't stream anymore. But I do find that he has some opinions of me streaming, being that I act different when I stream. Like I'm a lot more like livelier and gigglier. And whatnot is it, and sometimes he'll even straight up like stare at me while I stream, and I do like character model stuff, right? I'll enunciate my words.
Yeah.
Does he ever do things like that to you?
I think if anything, he's remarked on the fact that my voice is actually really different off stream, but it's only
Ooh.
like if when we're together private, and
Mm.
it's this is the lore for the people who have come here to watch this. My voice is actually much higher pitch when I'm alone with Liam. It I just slip into this really cutesy high pitched voice, and he said no one would ever believe me.
Oh.
Yeah. And I realized I was like, for some reason, when I'm working or when I'm streaming, I kind of just go into this more like professional tone. And so I've been trying to relax it a little bit more recently.
Mhm.
But yeah, oh yeah, it's a little, I act a lot different around him off stream, and he's like, no one would ever believe me.
Do you think you'd be able to bring it out right now?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Oh, you are so funny!
Oh no, I don't think I would even be able to like bring it out amongst close friends, like in a private Discord call.
Is it because you don't want them to see, or you feel like it's just be, or like,
I think it's just mortifying.
oh, you are
It's like,
so funny. Okay, okay,
I
I
think
understand.
it's not even like, oh, I don't trust them or anything.
Yeah.
It's more so just like, just the being perceived is
Mhm.
terrifying.
It says streamer twice in the stream. That's okay. I
Yes.
understand. I understand actually. Okay. Oh, how fun. I'm glad you two are streaming together. I look forward to seeing more of you two.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, he's definitely going through kind of a transitional period right now
Mhm.
where he is, doing a rebrand. He's going to be having a human model instead of his anthro model.
Oh yeah.
And we have some things in the works for him, so I'm very excited to see him get into things. And I think he's also trying to figure out like what times does he want to stream, and like what is he going to stream. So I'm really looking forward for his next arc. And I think he'll go through his own kind of experimental period.
Nice. That's gonna be great for the lore too.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
I'm wondering. So, okay, this is my favorite question to ask for every small talk. So I'm gonna lay it on you right now.
All
Uh,
right.
say the stars and moons and planets, everything's aligned. Everything in your life is as you need it to be and as you want it to be. How would your everyday look like? From like the hour to when you wake up to what you'd eat every day.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a really interesting question. I think I would not be working a day job. I love my job, but I think that I have so many hobbies to keep me going
Mm-hmm.
that I would really just love to just dive into my hobbies. Not having to worry about like the monetary aspect of it would be really freeing, and it would mean
Mm-hmm.
that if I want to, say like, oh, I actually just want to spend 3 hours baking today, I could do
Mm-hmm.
that. Or I actually do want to try to pick up knitting and I don't feel pressured for time.
Yeah.
And I think it would also help me maybe to, spend more time writing because I have to, the stars have to be in alignment and I'm trying to work on that so I'm more consistent. But then I think it's obviously a little bit easier if you don't have like work looming over you. So
Constantly, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
taking up
I
so
think
much of your day. Okay, sorry, go on.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, I think it's just really trying to dedicate more times for hobbies and then just being able to spend more time with the people that I love for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself maybe like the dream would be a full-time content creator?
Actually, I would say no to that.
Mm.
I really love streaming. I really love VTubing. But I think I see a lot of the challenges of trying to do this full time, and I think it's probably not for me. I really love doing this at the frequency I'm doing now, kind of as like a part-time thing.
Yeah.
But I think that there's so much to full-time content creation and just content creation in general that is behind the scenes that it's not just hitting go, right? It's not just hitting go
Yeah.
live. And I think that's kind of a misconception that people don't realize before they start streaming, they think, oh, I can just hit the go live button, people come here. That's not the case. And all of that extra stuff behind the scenes can get really exhausting. So that's
Hmm.
probably why I would not do that.
No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I feel like too, like, uh, as an indie with no like strings attached, like you can just do whatever you want, and that freedom is not
Yeah,
is something you lose being a full time. I think because you have to start
that's so
playing
true.
the content game of like how to maximize for revenue. I I.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hopeful that you pick up all the hobby. I let me know when you get into knitting because I'm a crocheter. I love crocheting,
Oh my
so I
gosh.
look to see what you
I'll let
come
you
up with
know.
knitting. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one day I will start. One day I will carve out the time and I will pick it up.
I believe in you, and when that does, you're gonna make some of the cutest stuff. I'm certain.
I hope so.
I'm probably gonna ask maybe one more question, and then we'll catch one of the last viewer questions, and we'll
Sure.
we'll probably look to wrap up. So, uh,
Hmm.
about okay. Let me think about this question. Actually, how about we start off with the viewer question then?
Sure.
So Cabbage Fairy asks, "We know your passion for flowers, but what made you go with the witch theme?"
Yeah, so I actually do practice like some witchcraft stuff offline. It's something that I
Ooh.
really enjoy. Like I love doing tarot and I do love I guess the whole witchcraft as long as I do it very secularly.
Hmm.
And I think I have an interesting relationship with it where I really like the process and I love the aesthetic, but I don't know if like magic is real. I don't really know if any of this is working, but I sure enjoy the process and I think it can be something deeply introspective. And it can help you like it's kind of like meditation to some extent.
Yeah.
So I think that that's kind of where I got that witch theme that I wanted to bring into VTubing.
And I think you bring such a unique aesthetic to it because I think I don't know. I just have never seen like such a pretty hat before. Ugh. Is there like genuinely are there other witch VTubers with like such floral themes?
So I do know of at least one other garden witch. I think
Hmm.
Spooky Rose is the other garden witch I'm aware of.
I see.
Um but I haven't I think I made this joke on Twitter. This is my claim to uniqueness is that I'm the only witch who wears pants.
I saw your post. It's true.
I totally did that just like off the cusp, like as a joke. And then everyone came out of the woodwork to go, yeah, why don't witches wear pants?
Because dresses are cute, which makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
dresses are so cute, but when I designed my model with Lulu at the time, I was very insistent. She gave me 6 concepts and I think all of them had skirts and I was just like, these are so cute. I love them so much. Please give me pants. I want high-waisted pants. Please, I need pants.
Oh my god, I really want. Can we see? If, I want to give you a chance to like show off your model in all of its entirety because it's so well made. I can we try really quickly to get the VTube Studio thing working again?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Thank
you let me know
you.
what I need to do and I sure can.
I have opened up the room. I would love to see you come in here and show off the full body because this is genuinely one of my most favorite VTuber designs ever.
Oh, I think
So
it's
pretty.
connecting.
Yay! Okay, okay. Give her one moment, and then I'm gonna give her the table to stand on, I guess.
I will say I will stand on your table.
Yeah. Awesome, welcome back. Thank you for 22 months. Welcome back. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to have talked to you today because I truly feel like I've met someone cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, I've definitely got that impression. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
We have so many similar interests that I was just like, oh my gosh, you totally get it. You get it.
you get it. You get it. You do the same things.
Yeah.
And also,
Oh,
I
okay.
bullet
We can put it in.
journal, and you mentioned the planner, so I also just get the sense
Yeah.
that you too have journaled. Do you?
I have tried bullet journaling and
Mhm.
I did not successfully keep up with it. I would love to know sometime your
Mhm.
process for that because I really admire people who can do like really pretty bullet journals.
Mine's not pretty in any way, but it's just such a I don't know. I collect my thoughts better. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Please, please, you beautiful, beautiful witch, you get on this table.
Oh, okay. Okay. Would you mind actually sharing your screen with me? Because I
Oh
think the
yes.
Twitch screen is delayed. I'm not able to see it.
Understood. Here you go.
Thank you. Okay, so then I can wherever you
The
put the
table
table.
is not on here. That's what you
Oh.
mean. Oh heavens. Wait, wait, wait. Nope, I got you. Let me give you this table. Oh, it
Okay.
is so easy. Here you go. Thank
I'll go
you.
real tiny to get the entire model up there. But yeah, this is the full view.
So pretty. Look
Um
at the pants. They have a thigh jiggle.
yeah, we got pants and we got a belt with potion bottles on it. And then I have a couple cool things. I will take off my jacket for you. Exclusive on Vespi stream. Um
Gasp! Look at
so
that! She has gloves.
yeah, you can see the potion bottles a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
and you can also see the sleeves are really cute and transparent. Um, and I can take off my hat.
Let's
Yep.
go!
And I also have a cute emote that I can hold a little potion bottle. And then the sauciest thing that my chat really likes when I do is I can take off my gloves and they all find the bare fingers incredibly scandalous.
Imagine she could take off the boots. Oh my god!
Oh
Look,
no
the
no,
skin, the hands.
I was about to say the feet. No, the feet don't exist. Yeah.
Under the boots is a void. Understood.
Yes, yeah. Oh, and a interesting detail I will call out on my model is that I Lilu actually has my actual like engagement ring. I sent
Oh!
a picture to my model mama and she actually incorporated that in there. I have a Morganite engagement ring and so you can see on the potion hand there's a little band there.
I
Yeah.
see it. That is so cute. Will Liam have one too?
Yeah, yeah, he
Oh,
has it on
you two
his
are
as
so
well.
cute. Oh, I want one too. I'm gonna get Grimsley to start streaming again.
There you go. You should.
Oh, oh, okay. I have this idea for like a couple show, and maybe you would find it funny too. I want to get Grimsley into a Discord call, and all the participants in the Discord call have voice changer on, and Grimsley has to guess which one is the real me. And so
That
I
is so
do
funny.
you think you and Liam would be interested in that kind of setup? Because maybe I could use a test dummy.
You think so? I think I could probably convince him to do it. That sounds so fun.
Ooh, I'm so happy to hear that then. Okay, okay. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. I'll pretend that's my question for now because I see dinner and I'm getting hungry. Okay,
No problem.
Lilu. Thank you so much, so much, so much, so much for your time today. It was a blast. Is there anything you would like to shout out, promo before I kick you out for today?
I kind of will just tell people what I got going on. So tomorrow I'm doing a Polia stream, because it is very no thoughts, head empty. Let's go like fish and mine some stuff. And then on Friday I'll be streaming more of the visual novel I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. If you come by, just bring some tissues because as we learned last time, it's very emotional and we will be crying.
Oh gosh,
And
okay.
then, oh yeah, it's painful. And then on Sunday, we are going to be doing some demos from Wholesome Direct. I had the pleasure
Ooh.
of co-streaming for that, and there were so many games that we were like, "Oh, we want to try these things." So I'm picking out a few of the demos, and we're going to check them out personally together. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
so exciting. Okay. When was that one? What is that one again?
That one is on Sunday, and I
Okay.
think I scheduled it for 1 p.m., but all the other streams are at 5 p.m. I do, and that's EST. I do tend to stream a little bit earlier just because I've realized that it is good for my sanity. So,
Yes, ma'am. Please
yeah,
do so. Are you a morning
yes, yes.
person?
Um, I think I'm turning into one because
I
all of my
get you.
energy is in
Okay.
the morning.
Okay. All right. No more questions. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much for
Lilu.
having me here.
All right. I will see you around, man. Thank you. Toodaloo. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye. Thank
you.
you.
Okay, quick collab. All right, everyone. That was Lilu Clary of the Botanical Tap. No, I already messed up her name. No, don't hate me. Yeah, I am so honored that she came on today. How you feeling? I am hungry, but I am also so elated. I'm so happy. You are an excellent hostess. You are too kind, sweet Steve. And thank you to everyone who came by and was chatting. I understand that that we get caught up in conversation, but thank you guys so much for interacting with us throughout it all. It was so fun, and I'm hopeful that people who have come from Lilu's community have learned something with her. I'm hopeful that my community has found a new person to get to know and take along their travels. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty satisfied and proud. Thank you so much for having me on. It was a blast for me too. I'm looking forward to your streams, and I'm filled with so many words right now. I can't get them all out right, but just know that I am so happy to have talked to you today. I needed it. I've been having kind of a rough time, to be honest, so meeting such a positive person is such a breath of fresh air. Words. Okay, guys, I see delicious food that Grimsley cooked for me. So now I'm gonna go have some dinner with him. My next small talk guest will be Yuki-chan. She is an AI VTuber who we will be talking to on June 29th, Saturday. I will find a time for you at another time. Just know that will be the day of the next small talk. And with that, I shall be gone for a week. So I won't see you guys for actually a long time. Thank you guys so much for following today. I'm gonna go send you guys off to another friend. Let's move around, see who's on. I feel like the comfiness of today should continue. So let's go bring you to Biwi. Biwi Crover, a familiar name that we've seen throughout today. I am so excited to hang out around the community more. I think I just being a sponge. That's such a valuable time. Streaming the new model. Oh, how nice, how very fitting. What better person to raid, honestly? Okay. Here is the raid message if you are a non-subscriber. And here it is if you are a subscriber. Please use the right one. And this VOD will go up onto the YouTube cross the archives. So if you guys if you guys would prefer watching this on YouTube, there you go. There you go. Whoops. The archives. Okay, goodbye. See you guys around. Take care, and I'll see you guys in a week. I'll make a more official announcement on the Discord. Toodles.